In this lecture, I am going to validate our registration form by jQuery Validator. First of all, let's add sign up page URL to this sign up button and home page URL to this home button. So let's open main layout.blade.php file and let's add sign up page URL to this sign up button. The route name of our registration page is get register, which I created in the last video. The route name of our home page is home. Now let's add this active class dynamically. I will check current route name. To get current route name, we need to write request route get name. It will return the current route name. So I am checking if current route name is home, then I will add active class to this home button. Similarly, for the sign up button, I will check if the current route name is get registered, then I will add active class to this sign up button. Now refresh the page and click on the sign up button. You can see we are in the registration page and our sign up button is active. Now to use jQuery validator, we need to include the CDN for jQuery validator. So I am in the official website of jQuery validator, which is jQueryvalidation.org, and from this website I will grab this CDN link and I will include this CDN inside my head tag of main.layout.blade.php file. So let's include this CDN. And now let's open the register page, which is under resources, views, auth, and then register.blade.php, and let's open the author.js file, which is under public.js and then author.js. Now you can see the ID of our registration form is registration form. So I need to validate this form. So I will copy the ID of the form, and then in the author.js I will write, actually this is the ID of the form you want to validate. So I am validating registration form, and then we need to pass an object inside validate, and you need to add the rules from for the field you want to validate. So I am adding the rules inside rules object. For the first name, I will add the rules called required. Our first name field should be required, and the mean length of the first name should be 2 characters, and the max length of the first name should not be more than 100 characters. Now if I save the file and refresh the page and submit the form, you can see our validation is working. Now if you want to customize this message as per your choice, yes, you can do that. For that we need to pass messages, and then for the first name field I will override the message for required rules. Okay, so I need to write the messages like that. Please enter your first name. Now if I refresh the page and submit the form again, you can see our customized message is displaying. Now let's add the rules for all field. Our last name field will also be same rules as first name, so I will add the rules for last name, and then I will add the rules for email field. Our email field should be required, and it should be a valid email address, so I need to pass email true. And after that I will write the validation rule for password. Our password field should be required, and the mean length of the password field should be 6 characters, and the max length should be 100 character. And then I will write the validation rule for confirm password. The name of our confirm password field is confirm password, and the confirm password field should be required, and it should be equal to our email field. Sorry, it should be equal to our password field. So I need to pass equal to, and then I need to pass the ID of our password field. The ID of our password field is password, so let's pass hash password here, and then I will write the validation rules for terms field. Our terms checkbox should be required. If there is only one validation rule, you can pass like that. So our terms field should be required, and there is another field for Google reCAPTCHA. It is G reCAPTCHA. So G reCAPTCHA field is also required. And now if I refresh the page and submit the form, you can see all the field is required. Okay, but one thing is that our Google reCAPTCHA validation message is not showing. Basically, if you remember, it is a hidden field. We stored the Google reCAPTCHA response in a hidden field. So to validate hidden field, we need to pass ignore here, ignore, and then dot ignore. Now save the file. Now if I refresh the page and submit the form, you can see this field is required, but the messages is not customized. So I already created a customized messages object, so I will copy that and I will paste that here. You can add the messages as per your choice. Now if I refresh the page and submit the form, you can see all the customization messages coming. Now I will add, basically I will change the color of this error text. Okay, and I will also add a invalid class to this input field, and I will make the error input field to a red border. Okay, first of all let's add a error class for the error field. So I will add error class. Our error class will be invalid and valid class will be success. Let's intend the code correctly. So our error class is invalid and valid class is success. Now let's open the style.css file, which is under public, then style.css. Now let's write label. Actually our validation message is coming inside label tag. So label invalid, the color of the text will be red, and the font size of the text will be 13 pixel. And for input invalid, the border will be 1 pixel solid red. And for input success, actually this is the class we defined here. Error class is invalid and valid class is success. So when the input has a class called success, then the border will be 1 pixel solid green. Now if I save the file and refresh the page and submit the form, okay, refresh the page and inspect the page. If there is an error, okay, there is an error. What is the error? Or the JS line number 25. Yeah, this should be a comma here. Okay, now refresh the page and submit the form. You can see the border of the error input is red and the validation message text color is red. Now you can check the validation messages for terms and condition field is not in the proper position. Okay, so we need to position this error messages under this checkbox field. Okay, so let's add a div under the checkbox field of id terms error. Actually we will put the message for this terms checkbox inside this div. Okay, so let's add the id of this div, and now in the author.js under messages object, let's create an object called error placement. Actually we will place the error inside this div for terms and conditions checkbox. So we can get error and element as a parameter here. So I'll check if the name attribute of this element is terms, which is this terms. Actually this is the name of the element. Then I will put the error message inside the div of id terms error. And for other field, the error should be placed after insert after the element. Just save the file and refresh the page and hit submit button again. You can see all the validations message are properly displaying and the position of the error message is also good. Okay, in the next lecture I will add remote validations for email field.